40th anniversary, and well, it was on Sunday. So, following church, we took a few days off to hide away for a couple of days and enjoy some time together, and we've had a great time. I want to read for you a brief, simple devotional that I wrote some time ago when I found an old picture of Donna and our little baby girl, who now is 36 years old, but who at that time was about 2 years old. It was a picture that we had taken when we were pastors in Indiana. She was standing by the kitchen and holding the baby, and they were both waving at us. And I felt happy and wistful when I saw it several years ago. Found it I think I had it stuck in a book somewhere and forgotten about the picture. And it made me think about how glad I was to have been celebrating so many years together with my wife and to see my daughter grow up. And it was about the time when our daughter was about to get married. And I was feeling really happy about that too as well. And it just motivated me to think about what would it be like to run into that picture and the marriage had not lasted. What would it be like to look at an old picture of happier times when you had lost your marriage? And so I wrote a thought about that, and I thought I'd just share it with you as kind of a quick little devotional thought for this afternoon. I'm calling it a post-marital muse. A post-marital muse. The picture commanded a torrent of memories. How old was she? 25? 26, he guessed. He remembered those blue jeans like yesterday. High on the waist, loose on the hips, straight down the leg, folded down the ankle at the ankle. Her waist-length golden brown hair rested casually on her shoulders, nestling the tan knit vest and short sleeve shirt. It must have been late summer, early fall. Hoisted upon her slender waist, decked out in her favorite purple overalls, was their 2-year-old daughter. They waved to the camera in the phony style of a princess on the back of a convertible, both sporting an impish grin. He had forgotten how little hair his daughter had. Still, no one ever mistook her for a boy. Her beautiful eyes gave her away even as an infant. They stood in the kitchen of the country farmhouse where they lived while he was a graduate student. Linoleum flooring, formica countertops, painted cabinets. He loved that home. He could still remember the sulfur smell of the well water perpetually dripping from the sink behind them in the kitchen. He felt like Helen Keller discovering water every time he cranked the pump way out back. He had stumbled across the long-forgotten photograph while cleaning a box in the closet. His throat thickened a bit as he recalled the innocence and simple joy of their brief country life. Life was good back then. Within 3 years, they were divorced. What had happened to their idyllic marriage? How did they grow so distant in such a short time? He hardly remembered anymore. No cataclysmic events forced their hand. They just drifted apart. Communication dried up. Joy evaporated. Their relationship felt beyond repair. They broke up. Since then, life had been good to both of them. She had 2 more children in her next marriage. She seemed happy. He was glad for that. His own life had had some rough spots, but after several years of being alone, he married someone with 2 children of her own. He loved his wife and his stepchildren and generally had no regrets. Until today. Seeing that picture unleashed a flood of unexpected thoughts and feelings. He wondered what might have been. What other children might they have had if they had stayed together? Would the little girl in the picture have had a sister or brother? He felt guilty for the thought. What would it have been like to have had his daughter always at home, rather than to face the delicate balancing act of alternating schedules? How difficult was it for his daughter to juggle 2 separate homes? How much of her growing up years had he missed despite his best efforts to stay active in her life. When they broke up 20 years ago, all they could see was the insurmountable challenge of salvaging their relationship. He knew now that the ramifications of their decision had been much greater than he had imagined. He also knew that the problems hadn't been as catastrophic as they appeared to them at close range. Tomorrow was his daughter's wedding day. She was 26-year-old, just like her mother was in the picture he now held in his hand. He would proudly walk her down the aisle and tearfully say, "Her mother and I," when the minister asked the question. He would offer a strong hand to his new son and a gentle kiss to his beloved daughter. He would not say it, but he would certainly think it. My children, please do not be as short-sighted as your mother and I were. 20 years from now, when you stumble across the pictures of this day, may it bring you tears of joy, not pangs of regret.